Hi, everybody. Week 6. We are really over the hump now and on our way down toward the end of this rapidly concluding term. I've learned a lot. I hope you have too. This week, we're talking about the social aspects of legal ethics, of legal professional ethics, of the law itself. And particularly, we're talking about a concept called the social contract. Now, many of you, all of you probably, who have taken philosophy courses, all of you, probably have heard the term social contract before. Also, if you've taken some basic sociology courses or courses in civil society, you may be familiar with the term social contract. It comes from 17th and 18th century British, mostly British, also French, philosophers, Hobbes and Rousseau, and a third person, Blake. No, I don't remember. Doesn't matter. The social contract is an agreement that we have as members of a society. Every society has its own social contract or contracts. And within any society, what the social contract means is what we have all, as a group, whether we've ever thought about this or not, we've all implicitly agreed on the rules by which we're going to live. In my written announcement, I gave you a kind of elementary, basic example of part of the social contract that we have in this country and in most of Western society, and that is this. We wait in line, in order. Let's say that you're going to see the latest Avengers movie, and you want to go on its very first day, on the opening day. You know there's going to be a line for the tickets. You haven't had the foresight to buy your tickets online. So you go to the theater and you see this line that stretches out. There are probably 100 people in the line. What do? Do you say, I'm not waiting in this line? Me? No. I'm just going to go straight to the head of the line, shove everybody out of the way, get my ticket and go in. I behave that way. No, well, you wouldn't do that more than once, probably. But most of us, the vast majority of us, would never do that at all. We wouldn't even think about it. We'd go to the theater, we'd see the line, we would automatically go to the back of the line and wait our turn to buy our ticket. That is part of the social contract. We, as a society, have recognized that it's a first-come, first-served process to buy tickets or to check out of a store or to renew your license at the DMV or to do nearly anything that requires standing in line. I mean, you don't shove your way to the beginning of the line. You don't muscle your way to the middle of the line. You stand at the back of the line because that's how we do things. That's our social contract. There are thousands of aspects of the social contract, so many that there's no way to describe them all or even to think about them all. We just do these things automatically because we've grown up in this society. If you are a traveler, if you're a world traveler, you may have visited places in the world where the implicit agreement is to behave in a way that seems wrong to you. It just seems wrong. You don't do that. But the fact is that the society you're visiting does do that. Their social contract has different clauses or aspects than ours does, but they have one. They know, the members of that society know how they're supposed to behave, just as the members of our society know how we are supposed to behave. That's the social contract. So, crimes, by definition, are violations of some aspect of the social contract. We have implicitly agreed not to kill each other. We don't even think about that, most of us. Just don't do it. It's not done. You don't kill somebody. You don't steal from somebody. If you see a car that you really like, you don't just think, oh, I think I'll just take this car. It's so nice. It's so much nicer than mine. I'll leave my car and I'll take this one. That's not only illegal, which of course it is, it's also a violation of the social contract. We, as members of this society, have agreed not to do that. You don't take things that don't belong to you. When you do take things that don't belong to you, we label that action as a crime. When you kill someone, we label that action as a crime because we've agreed not to do it. That's what the social contract is. Your obligation in this discussion board this week is to discuss, pick a crime, any crime. It could be shoplifting, it could be manslaughter, it could be rape, it could be burglary, it could be anything you want, anything that interests you. How does that crime violate the social contract? It does, by definition it does, because that's the behavior we label as criminal is ipso facto a violation of part of our social contract. It's a behavior that we don't approve of, we as a society. How has, once you've chosen your crime, you also should discuss how that crime, how its definition has changed over time. Has the crime you've chosen has that behavior always been viewed as criminal in our society? If not, when did it come to be viewed as criminal? Why did it come to be viewed as criminal? If it has always been viewed as criminal, has it always been viewed in the same way? One of the aspects that you need to explore is not only the definition of the crime itself, but how we have decided is appropriate to punish that crime. In colonial America, we used to institute punishments that in today's world would seem unduly harsh and crazy, but that were the norm in the 16th and 17th centuries. But what do we do now? How has punishment for that crime, if it's still even viewed as a crime, changed over time? Have the changes in society affected how we view that crime? Well, the answer to that is almost always yes. If our views of a crime have changed over time, it's because our society has changed. Sometimes our views haven't changed all that much, and both the definition and the treatment of certain kinds of behavior will seem relatively consistent over the centuries. That's a little bit rare. You don't usually see that, but there are some things that are so fundamentally wrong in most societies, certainly all Western societies, such as murder, that they're going to be viewed as crimes. They've always been viewed as crimes. The question is how they're going to be punished. So your discussion board, again, has two aspects. One, the crime itself and how it's been defined over time, and also the punishment for that crime and how that has changed over time. Then the second assignment this week, and there are only two written assignments this week, which should come as a relief to those of you who survived last week. The second assignment is a blog, and it's about racial profiling. Racial profiling is a very controversial subject. It is disapproved most of the time because it is mishandled most of the time, and it is not something that that we can see as society approving of in a general way. Racial profiling in and of itself is often viewed as a violation of the social contract. We do not judge people, prejudge people, based on their race, based on their appearance. What you're asked to do in your blog is to select one of the reports of the Minnesota Statewide Racial Profiling Study, which is a link to that's provided in your reading materials, and then to discuss about that particular report that you've chosen, the ethical issues that are related to racial profiling in that report, and the legal issues also. Sometimes those are the same, sometimes not so much, and what laws your state has regarding racial profiling. If any, not all states have dealt with racial profiling in their statutory laws. If your state has laws about racial profiling, do you think they're adequate? Do you think they should be improved? How do you think they should be improved? If it doesn't, do you think it should? And how should what should those laws do? That's the topic of your blog. You don't have a short paper this week. You are urged, however, to continue working on your final project. I know that's an ongoing thing for you, so just keep working on it. As always, if you have questions, I'm here for you. Bye.